Psalm 71. Psalmist is aging, going through some late life transitions. Got some enemies coming against him. There's some vulnerability, feels and a little fearful about the future, and sees the successes of the past, and has some admiration from some people, but is a little bit tenuous in this transitional time of life, and yet really relying on God. And we're learning a lot from this psalm about some late life, midlife to late life decisions, resolve, going in the strength of the Lord. His strength will always be accessible and available. He will not forsake us. Verse 18, now when I'm old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I've showed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come. That word until intrigues me because it gives the sense that maybe the idea is of being forsaken is not necessarily God turning away from me while I'm alive, as much as maybe bringing my life to a close. Maybe that's built into the Hebrew word there. I'm not sure. Just that's just conjecture as I look it up here. To leave, abandon, reject, desert, or to be freed, or to so it could be to be freed from this life. It could be to bring this life to a close. And if that's the sense of it, then the psalmist is saying, God, sustain my life and keep me on assignment, keep me on mission, and in strength, in power, enable me until my assignment is done. I'm reminded of my friend and our church's friend, Don Sisk. Don is, I think he's in his early 90s now. And he is traveling every week, preaching the Word of God, encouraging people. I'll see him in March, and then he'll be with us, Lord willing, in September again. But he said to me, Cary, this has been my request of God, and I think it might be right out of Psalm 71. He says, as long as I have breath, as long as God gives me life, I would love the strength to keep going for him, to glorify him. And then I'd like him to keep my faculties, my mind and my strength, until he's ready to bring me home. That's a little bit of what this psalmist is praying. Lord, keep me on mission and on assignment. Help me to have the capacities to glorify you and to point others to you until my life is done. So verse 18, now when I'm old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not until I've showed thy strength unto this generation and thy power to everyone that is to come. Thy righteousness also, O God, is very high, who hast done great things. O God, who is like unto thee? I love verse 19 because coming through verses 14 to verse 18, it's as though the psalmist is focused on himself and his aging, and God, give me the power and the strength to magnify you. So in that sense, he's focused on the Lord. I get it. It's a prayer to God. But in verse 19, it's almost like the psalmist pauses, steps out of the thought flow, the stream of thought, and just marvels, just delights. He's so overcome by the picture of the past, the photo stream that we talked about yesterday, this long line of blessing and God's activity in his life, this long line of memories of God taking him on this journey. And verse 19, he just pauses and it's like he says, God, you're so good. You're so wonderful. You're so beautiful. You're so perfect. Your righteousness is very high. God, I can't even imagine the magnitude of your goodness. Your righteousness is very high, and you've done great things. Oh God, there's no one like you. You are wonderful. Now, you know what I like to do in times like this, and I generally feel like the Authorized Version usually has the better wording, even though I wish we could get rid of some of the Elizabethan strength or the Elizabethan structure is what I meant to say. But I like to take verses like this or sections like this and say, I wonder what other versions say. So let me read you a couple. Your righteousness, O God, reaches the high heavens. You have done great things, O God. Who is like you? That's ESV. NLT, your righteousness, O God, reaches the highest heavens. You have done such wonderful things. Who can compare with you, O God? So they're all essentially the same. the psalmist has just paused and said, wow, wow, God, you are amazing. Now, so here's your assignment for today. Your assignment for today is not to spend a lot of time looking at the brokenness and the brutality of the world. Look up, put your eyes on Jesus, and consider today how amazing he is. Just spend some time today wowing. Maybe you go back on your photo stream. Maybe you think through some battles or hardships that God's brought you through. Maybe you think about the glory and the beauty of the gospel, what Jesus has done. But be wowed today. Spend some time thinking about God's amazingness. Happy Thursday. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.